From LALATE headquarters in Santa Monica, this is Afternoons LALATE.
It's a big afternoon of Afternoons LALATE with incredible great news about your fourth stimulus check update of 2021. The incredible RECON has passed the House and is now in the Senate, and the Senate will add big changes to that incredible RECON, adding a lot more checks. And in today's recording, we're going to see that 5 of 6 senators we've been advocating to say they're putting in an MSC, a monthly stimulus check. All the latest breaking news you're only hearing on this channel. The clusters of checks of this RECON so far pay a lot of money, upwards of $50,000. I'll show you how you get these incredible clusters of checks in this fourth stimulus RECON. But no time and place to wait for fourth stimulus RECON. You can get your bills paid today from third stimulus. I'm going to show you the big sums of money that viewers have gotten this week, thousands of dollars each viewer, and on average about $5,000 this week, $5,000 year to date. We'll be turning to student loan debt forgiveness and the latest on that. We'll be turning to the excitement of this stimulus and the latest details on that. Plus, I'll be going over the financial mess that ensued on Friday and what it means for you after the new jobs number was released, and it was really good. Very confusing. Plus, we meet 2 new characters to this channel. You haven't seen them before. They are Simplistic Sally and Voting Victoria. You're going to meet the 2 new cast members coming to this channel, plus a preview of the new show coming to this channel called The Metaverse, working title, featuring yours truly. It's going to feature how to get big money in the metaverse. Those details and more, plus how to advocate. I have a great recording coming for you today. I'm excited you're here. It's a big afternoon, and the breaking news, the exclusive news, and the big way to get money starts right here, right now, direct from Santa Monica. This big, bold, beautiful afternoon starting right now. Hey, good afternoon, everybody. I hope you're having a beautiful day. And here we go. The House has sent that RECON to the Senate. And the senators are adding lots of checks. And 5 of 6 senators vow they're adding in at least 1 or more stimulus checks. IRS. All the latest breaking details only on this channel in this recording. We'll go over those incredible checks in that RECON. Will pay you at least $15,000, but you're going to see very quickly and maybe upwards of $60,000. You have bills to pay today? Don't worry, because I'm going to get your bills paid right now on the third stimulus and show you how thousands of viewers did the same this week. The great news is coming up. Student loan debt forgiveness, it's huge. $10,000 offer on the table. Will the Democrats take it? Then we turn to the exciting details of fifth stimulus and that COLA raise. All your questions answered and more. Plus, I'll have the latest details about what happened with that big vote on the debt ceiling limit. The breaking news about what happened with the big surprises across the board with that big jobs report on Thursday and what it impacted the markets on Friday. Those details and more as we go into a big afternoon, and I'm excited you're here. So go right under this video right now and hit that subscribe button. Hit that subscribe button right now. Like the video, 2,000-3,000 likes, and consider becoming a member to get that incredible newsletter that comes out tonight. Well, actually not tonight, Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And also consider becoming a member to the LALATE alerts, which is totally free. So you get an alert when a new video goes live. Let's go to those incredible checks in this incredible RECON that'll pay you a lot of money. And there is at least $15,000 of checks. But get your pen and paper ready, because you're going to see right away it's a lot more than $15,000. Splattered across 3 clusters of checks and 3 add-ons. Here we go. You ready? I am. Let's go to the great news. Cluster number 1, hazard pay, essential workers. They got it in there. That is big money. 1 more year of that. That is for the earned income tax credit. $4,000 of elder care. Got it in there. $4,000 of care for young children. Got it in there as well. Great news. $550 checks for the Pell Grant for my college students. Then they got the free repairs to the home if you live in a low-income community. And then they got the CTC, the child tax credit, $3,600. And then the big $12,500 for the purchase of a new electric vehicle. Wow. That's the first cluster. The first add-on comes from the illustrious Maxine Waters here in Southern California. She wanted to give you $25,000. She got a little bit less. And what it is it's free money to buy your first home. Yes, you heard me right. This is huge. She wanted $25,000. She got a little bit less. And this is free money to get for your first home. How do you get this money? I'm going to show you in just a second. Stay with me as we go right now into the next cluster of checks starting right now. In cluster number 2, we got home repairs and paid leave. We also got in cluster number 2, the household tax credit, the child care credit, the pre-kindergarten, but it's those weatherizing your home you want to have. Very important, because you never know when you have to weatherize your home, because you may look out the window at that beach house and say, is that the check outside the window? Hey, let me wave at you, check. And you wave and you wave and you wave, and the check can't see because you got weatherized windows. That's the check's excuse this week. Rude check. Let's go to the second add-on. That comes to the illustrious Bob Casey. He got it in there. He went $250 billion. He got a little bit less. And what is it? Free home health care for my seniors and people on disabilities. Wow, this is incredible. And how do you get this big money? It's coming up late in this video. Again, he went at $250. He got a little bit less. Let's go to third cluster checks. And this is where it becomes deliciousness. Well, here we go. We got in there free school meals for all checks. We got in there immigration reform. Also, the farmers, the free internet, the workers, and the big money for my seniors with the Medicare expansion. The Medicare expansion truly embodies what we're looking at for House versus Senate in this week, because the House members got some items in there. Senators vow to add a lot more. The House members got 2 Medicare expansions, which are hearing and the Medicaid gap fix. The senators vow to add 3 other items, which are dental, vision, and the Medicare age dropping to a lower age of eligibility. There you go. Which signals much the situation when we talk about MSC, which stands for Multiple IRS Stimulus Check. Those legislators since the month of May have told thousands of viewers, 6 senators collectively, that they're going to put at least 1 or more stimulus IRS checks in there. But as soon as the legislation landed in the Senate, I said, okay, now it's the ball's in their court. Time to re-advocate, because it's been a few weeks since the month of May. And I said, pick up the phone and call again. And now the breaking news today is, and it's exclusive only to this channel, of course, is that 5 of those 6 senators' offices in D.C. have told viewers in the last 7 days that a monthly IRS stimulus check is going in there. This is huge. So who are these senators, and what have they said, and what are the latest details? It started with Janet on the Wednesday before Thanksgiving, speaking to Leader Schumer's office, and being told that Leader Schumer will put it in there via Bernie Sanders. That was number 1. Number 2 was Lynn Glenn on Wednesday this week, speaking to Chris Coons' office and being told it's going to go in there. And that was the second part of the equation. The third part of the equation was Bonnie, who got Liz Warren's office on the phone, and that was Thursday, and being told it's going in there as well. And then on Friday, we had Dwayne Taylor speaking to Casey's office, Bob Casey, and that's the 5th of 6 of those senators saying it's going to go in there as well. When we talk about the MSC, what are we talking about? We're talking about at least 1 check. And the eligibility, they say, would be the same as a third stimulus check, which was the following. Single individual, $75,000 or less, got it. Married couple, $150,000 or less, got it. Double it. Family of 4, got it. Quadruple it. And if you're on benefits, SSI, SSDI, Social Security Railroad benefits, they got it as well. What amount are they talking about? Well, they usually talk about $2,000 the first month, $1,000 thereafter, but it's still much in negotiations. So you need to pick up the phone and advocate. And that is what they want you to do. The number 1 legislator in the RECON, Senator, his chief of staff says, we need to hear from you. And you need to still pick up the phone until we are over the finish line. And who are those legislators you want to advocate to, and what is their message of advocacy? First, let's go to their message of advocacy. And that message says the following. that they now have in congressional senators' offices received more contacts of advocacy from the LA Purple Power than anywhere in the United States. So this channel and you have delivered more advocacies than any place in the United States, over 5 million at the moment, and growing by the day. Everyone's amazed by the outpouring of touching stories. Now they have a better understanding of what Americans are going through this pandemic. They have heartbreaking stories, and they are the voice of people in LA, as you have become too loud to be ignored. Please continue your encouragement for the continued advocacy as the professional voice of the people you have become until this becomes law. And you need to advocate. And so who do you advocate to? Those 6 senators. And they are Casey, Coons, Warren, Wyden, Sanders, and Schumer. If you see among those 6, 5 of the 6 have said in the last 7 days it's still going in there. All 6 have said in the last month, since the month of May, it's going in there. But the missing ingredient this week is Wyden. So if you have time, pick up the phone and advocate with Ron Wyden, because the other 5 has said, yes, it's going in there. And they, again, are Casey, Coons, Warren, Wyden, Sanders, and Schumer. Now, what you should also do, if you give yourself some time as well to advocate for your wallet. You got bills to pay? I know you got bills to pay, so I want you to give yourself some time to pick up the phone and get the money from third stimulus. And you're going to meet in the second half of this video countless viewers who have gotten thousands of dollars this week to get their bills paid. You have bills to pay? Don't wait for fourth stimulus. Don't ask when fourth stimulus is coming. Get the big money from third stimulus right today, and you're going to be very, very happy. It's tens of thousands of dollars, and I'm showing you in the second half how to get this big money. We'll turn to that student loan debt forgiveness offer on the table by executive order. We'll be turning to fifth stimulus and that 5.9% increase. But more importantly, we'll be turning back to that passage of that recon out of the House, now in the Senate. The incredible Senate changes that are coming, those big checks that are going to be added to them. And those 2 new cast members you're going to meet on this channel, which are Simplistic Sally and Voting Victoria. I'll have them plus the debut information of a brand new show coming to this channel. It's a big second half, plus the economic data that came in on Friday. Those details and more as a huge, jaw-dropping, jam-packed afternoon's broadcast continues. If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.la.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals. Reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join LALATE daily for the excitement of the new LALATE live daily. The excitement starts on mornings LALATE at 9 a.m. Home LALATE returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then afternoons LALATE at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on LALATE. And the excitement continues right now, direct from Santa Monica, the second half of this big afternoon's LA recording. The House has passed that incredible recon. It's off to the Senate, and the big surprise is that there's a lot of additional checks that they're vowing to put in there. What are those checks? I'll show you in the second half of this recording. We'll go over the big money that is already in the recording and the big money that's already in the recon. We'll be cutting to the big exciting details of getting your bills paid right now from third stimulus and student loan debt forgiveness, the latest details on that, plus that COLA raise and your questions about fifth stimulus. Those details and more coming up in the second half of this video. I'm excited you're here, and I have a lot of breaking news to show you in the second half. But first, I want you to go down to this video and subscribe. Hit that subscribe button right under this video right now. Like the video, 2,000-3,000 likes, and consider becoming a member, Purple Hawk, Purple Power, or Calcino VIP. Also sign up for those LA alerts, which is totally free. so you get alert when a new video goes live. And here we go with the breaking second half of this recording. There is so much happening and the details are abound. So let me go over some of the items that are important to start the big afternoon. Last week, the debt ceiling limit extension bill was passed. It's a bill to extend the debt ceiling limit issue called a stopgap bill, passed and was signed into law by the President of the United States. It's huge because why? It frees up the table for the Democrats in the Senate, their work schedule, to get the recon done. That's the first item. The second item about it that was huge was that Joe Manchin had said all week long that a particular provision that was going up for an amendment by the Republicans was going to get a vote from Joe Manchin that would be an anti-democratic vote. Guess what happened? When the amendment went up for a vote, Joe Manchin did not vote with the Republicans. He voted against the amendment. So that's very, very important. Number three, we had a big, wonderful labor number coming in last Friday, and the number was so good it caused the stock market and crypto to crash. What is that labor number? I'll explain it later in this video. But first, let's go to these incredible clusters of checks, and I'm going to go over each of them one at a time, and then I'm going to introduce you to new cast members on this channel. First, this incredible recon has lots of checks, and one of the best provisions to start off the board is the paid leave. It's a lot of money. How much is it pay? $1,700 a week if you make $70,000 or more per year, $800 a week if you make $35,000 or more per year, $400 a week if you make $15,000 or more per year. And that is absolutely incredible. Now, the great news is that it's for everyone of all income levels and all types of workers. But if you live with your son or daughter and you're retired and they take off from work once a week to take you to the doctor, they're going to get the check for you in the household. It's great. The second wonderful provision they got in there was the SALT cap, driving it higher to $72,500. What's going on? Under the 2017 Trump overhaul of the tax code, you can not deduct more than $10,000 of what you pay in state and local taxes on that federal tax return. Now you will be able to. $72,500. It's incredible. They got $40 billion of free job training in this incredible recon, which is huge because millions of Americans are quitting their jobs and looking for a higher paying job. Now you have free job training. And a lot of seniors want to go back in the workforce. You'll be able to with this stimulus as well and get that free job training. They got the Medicaid gap fix, which a lot of you always ask me about. Where is that cheaper medical insurance? Here it is. 12 Republican states were vowing not to pay for Obamacare and had not. And so now the Democrats got a workaround plan that'll provide years of private insurance to low-income uninsured people in those states. It's incredible, which brings us to the best provision of this entire recon. And the best provision of this entire recon is the following. The housing, $150 billion of it. The housing provision has three new provisions and three old provisions. The three new provisions are the weatherize your home, the first-time home purchases, and the home repairs. More about that in a second. But the three provisions that look very familiar are a repeat from third stimulus, are rent, utilities, and mortgage assistance. And the great news is you don't need to wait for fourth stimulus to become law. You can get your bills paid today, and I'll show you right now with third stimulus. Third stimulus is a body of law that passed earlier this year. And as soon as it was in preview mode, and I had exclusive of what was in third stimulus in December 2020, I said I can get you about $15,000 from this third stimulus. As soon as it became law, I said I can get you about $15,000. The average viewer of this channel got $45,000 earlier this year. But about 2 weeks ago, I brought it back into the subject matter of this channel because I knew people were having issues getting their bills paid. So I said, use third stimulus because it's still paying out. And viewers in the last 7 days have had huge success. The average viewer has got about $5,000 each day this week. And we're going to go over how you can get it right now. It is rent, utilities, mortgage assistance, food, clothing, and more. And here are some inspiration stories to start right off the bat. Here's Lynn Glenn on Friday. I got rent paid for 4 more months. I love you. Bless you. Can't stop watching you. Love you back, Lynn. Then we had the day before, D. Miller saying, I got another 4 more months of rent, $2,800. Shows you can get $1,200 a month of rent. Robin says you're an angel in disguise. Thank you, Robin. She got 3 rounds of electric and 3 rounds of gas. How do you get multiple rounds at the same time? Stay with me. I'm going to show you in just a second. The day before that, this week, we had Madonna on Evening's Countdown. She got 1 round of rent, then another round of rent, and thinks a 3rd round of rent is coming. That's how you rock it. Kathy says, Ella, you're a godsend. Love you back, Kathy. She got 3 items, rent, utilities, and electric, which brought her to about $6,000 this week. Good job, Kathy. Keep on getting more money. Then the same day, Mei Lu got about $5,000 because she got rent at nearly $1,000 a month paid, several months of it. I love Morel's story. Morel's story says she got one round, the second round, and then the third round. And Mei Lu says, I appreciate you. You're the best. Love you back, Mei Lu. Jay Grant says, got $5,000 for renting utilities this week. Love it. And he says, could not have done it without you. We speak for all of us. We love you, LA. Love you back, Jay Grant. Scarpy got Snap. Melissa Justice got nearly $10,000 this week. And that was from 3 items, rent utilities and another utilities. Marika got free lumber because her house is powered by wood. And I love Chris's story. Why? Because he got $10,000 for this channel earlier this year from Third Stimulus, renting utilities. He says, I would have never known about the new round if I wasn't watching. And I just did what you said, and I got recertified for another $5,000 of rent and also some utilities. So get that pen and paper ready. It's your turn to get that money right today. There's money in every single state. Number 1, there's money in red states and blue states, green states, purple states. There's money everywhere. Single or married, children or not children, head on bills, behind on bills. You qualify. You absolutely qualify. So let's look at the rent first off the bat. How much money are we talking about for this rent? It's gone up a lot, folks. It was $20,000 to $30,000. This was a graphic about 3 months ago. It's now $40,000. So where do you get this rent? It's featured in the newsletter. If you're a member of this channel, it's in the newsletter. If you're not, get that pen and start writing this down right now. 6 places you're going to reach out to: City Hall, City House Authority; County Hall, and County House Authority; State Hall and State House Authority. Keywords you're going to say are rent assistance because of COVID; mortgage or utility assistance because of COVID. 3 musts you must do. Number 1, you must reach out to all 6 places. Number 2, you must get applications on file as many places as you can. And number 3, you must get multiple rounds. So if you got a round early this year, get another round today. If you got a round yesterday, get another round from another organization today as well. Next, utilities. This is so simple. Reach out to all utility companies and say utility assistance because of COVID. Mark's brother-in-law is getting $15,000. SNAP, money for food. If you got a third stimulus check, why are you paying for your own food? You should get SNAP. It pays for your food. It is from Department of Agriculture. It's going up 25% a lifetime. And guess what? Mark's brother-in-law is getting $25,000 a year. Yes, over 10 years, he's going to get $250,000 from this channel. Next, you want to get combo items. And combo items were started on this channel by Nisi and Art Sullivan. They got 3. Ever since then, I've told viewers at least 3. Here was Mark at the time. He had 2 items, so $32,000. I said, Mark, what's your third item? He got Snap, and that brought him to $50,000. Since then, Mark has gotten several more items. He's nearly at $100,000. Lorraine, she was at 105, and now she's at 120. The big surprise this week was one viewer in the live chat in the middle of the day said this week, he got for his immediate family $135,000 from Third Stimulus. Biggest single payout we've ever seen from a package on this channel for just a family. Great job. Which brings us to the incredible story now about Johnny, who got $850,000 for 32 people. Johnny's story starts with himself. Several weeks ago, he was one of 3 viewers who started this channel watching. By the middle of the week, he had 3 items approved. $45,000, like the other 2 people. That's a lot of money, $45,000 in 3 days. But I always tell viewers, don't stop, keep on trying to get another sum of money. By the end of the week, Johnny had 7 items approved. The grand total, $80,000. Now, the reason why I like the first part of the story is not so much the $80,000, it's because of the number of phone calls he made. He had to have made 15 phone calls because you're going to get a lot of no's. You're also going to get a lot of yeses. So you had to make 15 phone calls to get, maybe 7 no's and 7 yeses. And that's how he got 80,000. So for any person who says, I called one place, I got to know, what do? I don't know how to do this. You're not listening, because that's what you start at. You continue to push, making lots of phone calls like Johnny did. Second part of Johnny's story, even better. The following Monday, he reached out to his immediate family, said, I got $80,000 last week. They said, Johnny, from what? He said from LALATE. They said, I've heard about him on YouTube. Yes. What was the money for Johnny? He said from Third Stimulus. They said, Johnny, I haven't heard about this money on broadcast media. He said, they don't cover it on broadcast media. LALATE covers it. That's why you need to watch him. By the end of the week, those 2 family members went from non-belief to believers, and each had $50,000. That is the true landscape of where we are in America. LALATE is now the number 3 most watched financial news channel in America, but the number 1 on this subject matter, which is geopolitical news, which most of the other broadcasters do not cover in detail. So you're not going to see them cover the subject matter, somewhat like I don't want to cover their SPAC coverage. SPACs? Yeah, I just don't want to cover it. Now let's go to the third part of Johnny's story, which came in last Sunday. I was watching Sunday Night Football, and I got a wonderful private message on Instagram from Johnny who said, I have an update for you. Well, people kept on coming over the house saying, what did you do with your mom? I said, I got them all this money from LA. They said, who? So I started showing them your videos, and they started watching you as well. And I started telling them what I had done and showing them what I'd done. To date, this is Johnny speaking, I've helped 32 people, says Johnny. And to date, of those 32 people, says Johnny, have gotten $850,000 from your channel. This is how we do it, folks. This is how we do it. So if you haven't become a member, please consider becoming a member. The membership link is under the video. Becoming a member gets you that incredible newsletter. It comes out Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time via the YouTube alert system and the LALATE alert system. It features the 6 places you're going to reach out to. The 5 nonprofits that have additional sums of money, the keywords you say, the money from Treasury. Because the viewers who are members are listening and applying the information exactly like I say and are really winning. If you are not a member and do a paraphrased version of it or a watered down version of it, it doesn't particularly work. So consider becoming a member today. And let's go back into that 4 stimulus recon, which we left off at the housing provision. The 3 new housing provisions are incredible. First is the home repairs. If you live in a low-income community, this would be you. It's incredible. This would be a grant. Then they got in the weatherizing your home, windows, glass, all income levels, and then the first-time home purchases. This would be something given to the seller in your name on behalf of the federal government during the time of escrow. 2 new characters on this channel. I'm excited to introduce you to them. They are Simple Sally and Voting Victoria. So what are their issues? Simple Sally's issue is making everything very simplistic. And Voting Victoria's issue is actually a little bit more elaborate. So let me explain what Voting Victoria does and what Simplistic Sally does. Voting Victoria has really sort of manifested herself in the last few days on some of the comments on the channel. And what does Voting Victoria say? When are they voting? When are they voting? Are they voting today? I hope they vote today and send out some money. What I've been trying to impart in the chat, but I don't think it's coming across well, so I want to do it on air, is that in Congress, for something to become law, you have the House to pass it, the Senate pass it, and the President to sign it. But just because everyone is in the same political party, Democrats, doesn't mean they all agree upon everything. And a recon bill is not 20 pages long. It's 3,000 pages long with a lot of provisions, a lot of language, a lot of different funding items. And you could have a whole room of people, and one person may say, I don't like this one provision. I don't think it's written right, and I want to do it, but I don't think you wrote it right. Well, you don't want to call the vote at that time because the person's going to vote against it. So what I've been trying to impart to people is you don't want to vote on something that will fail. Now, what am I saying? What I'm saying is that the recon is a process. And the senators have already said they have a lot more checks to add in there. You want them to add those checks in there. You want them to add those checks in there. But there's a lot of people that still need modification of the checks that are in there. They need modification of the language, of the provisions, of the eligibility. There's some provisions that they want to take out. You've already seen paid leave. Joe Manchin wants paid leave taken out. I'm going to go over that in just a second. So what's important to understand is you call a vote on any bill, I don't care what the bill is about, when you know you have enough votes to pass it. You do not call a vote on a bill that you know is going to fail, because guess what? It fails, and you're done. Now, again, you do not call the vote until the recon is ready to be called for a vote. This morning in one of the chats, someone was saying, why did they wait so long to call the vote in the House? Because they didn't have enough votes. They did not have enough votes in favor of the recon. They finally did, and they had 100% of the Democrats vote in favor of the recon. They didn't have that a month ago. They had to make some changes. That's what changes are for, to get 100% of the votes and get it done. Someone will say, they don't care then. They really, why would they vote against it? They don't care about us. No. They want to make sure the language is right because they want the money to go to you in the right way, not in the wrong way. Now, Simplistic Sally is a different type of character. She hears a yes or a no or a fail or a pass and then says, so basically. Every sentence she starts with is so basically. And the problem with a Simplistic Sally is she wants to make everything simplistic, and legislation is not simplistic. We're dealing with 3,000 bodies, 3,000 pages of legislation. So when I say, if the recon is not ready to be called for a vote because you don't have enough votes, she's going to say, so basically it's going to fail. No, we're just not ready to call a vote for today, Sally. So basically we're all going to die. No, Sally. So basically, Russia has invaded America. No, Sally, calm it down. So simplistic Sally likes to make everything simplistic. And needless to say, it's legislation. Legislation is complicated. It's a complicated process, and hopefully I try to make it as simple for you as possible. Let's go back into those incredible checks and the incredible recon, and here we go. They got $150 billion of in-home health care for seniors and people on disabilities. They got $550 checks for the Pell Grant for my college students. Great news. They got one of the best provisions of Recon, $12,500 for the purchase of a new electric vehicle. Wow. If you went into a dealership in 2019 and looked at a window sticker on a car electric, it would have said something like $30,000 minus $7,500 federal tax rebate, meaning you have to pay $30,000 at the cash register and then file the tax return, wait for the $7,500 to come in the mail from IRS by refund. That's not this. This means you go into the dealership, it'll say $30,000 minus $12,500 equals $18,000 you pay. You go to the cash register in the dealership, you pay $18,500. Yes, it's totally different. Federal government give the money directly to the dealership at the time of purchase. Now, the next provision is an example of something that doesn't make sense. And for example, if I was a senator, I would not vote in favor of the recon until this language would be modified. And what's the issue? There's a problem with the language that I think violates U.S. trade policies with Mexico and Canada, which says you could not discourage the purchase of one item in one of those three countries over another. Here's an example. The Cadillac Lyriq is an electric SUV, and the Mustang Mach-E by Ford, it's also an electric SUV. They both qualify so far because they're both U.S. auto manufacturers. That's a requirement. Ford, GM qualify. They're both electric, qualify. They're both made by unionized labor. Ford unionized labor, GM unionized labor, qualify. So what's the difference? The Ford Mustang is made in Mexico, disqualified. The Cadillac is made in Tennessee, qualified. I don't think you can do that type of provision. So that's an example. If I was a senator, I would want to modify this legislation, this provision, before you call the vote, because as it's written, I may vote against it because I don't like that legislation. I think it violates U.S. trade policies. They got $65 in there for the nutrition for the student when they're not in school. The best provision in the entire recon is the cheaper medication. On day one, 20 medications will be dramatically slashed in price. Cancer, arthritis, diabetes, the most expensive. Medicare Part B, Medicare Part D. For example, a dose of insulin will drop from $1,000 to $35 right out the door. What's at issue? Well, by year 2028, it'll grow 30 medications and it cannot increase more than the rate of inflation. And if it does, there's a penalty provision in there. Penalty provision? Can't put a penalty provision in there, says Pat Toomey, a GOP senator. And he says the Senate parliamentarian will remove it. Now, who is the Senate parliamentarian? She's a nonpartisan individual who's going to look at the provisions of the recon. And I believe he's right, Pat Toomey. I think you can't put a penalty. It's going to go out. That's number one. The immigration reform, I think that's going to go out because she previously ruled it cannot stay in there. Paid leave. The Joe Manchin this week once again said he will not vote in favor of the recon if paid leave is in there. So there's three options. I think the best option is to wait for the parliamentarian to potentially remove it because a lot of people say she's going to remove it. Remember, if a provision is removed, the money is still in the recon, so they can reallocate that to things like the MSC. And that's why you have to stay on board because guess what? They have to reallocate the money. Then we have to back and negotiate where that reallocation goes. When you look at those senators, they say that there's a lot of additional checks they want to add to that recon. Another reason why you don't want to vote if there's a lot more checks they want to add in there. And the same 6 senators who want to add those checks in there are the legislators who vow to give you an MSC. And they are Casey Coons, Warren Wyden, Sanders, and Schumer. They say that it's has major gaps in this recon that needs a lot of gaps being filled up with more checks. So you want them to add those checks before we call the vote. And when they call the vote, then those checks are in there and we're ready to rock and roll. Let's go back into those incredible other checks in this recon. And there is universal paid leave, universal pre-kindergarten, 3 to 4 year olds, 1 year. Childcare, they got it in there. The child tax credit got it in there. The CTC, about $3,600. The hazard pay, earned income tax credit, back end 1 more year. The home health care, covered benefit. They got in there the hearing. They got in there the Pell Grant, and they also got in there the housing and the nutrition. So what are the provisions they're going to add in there? Well, you see this graphic under my face that says $15,000. You will really already see that there's a lot more than $15,000 of checks so far in the recon. It's clearly upwards of about $60,000 because everything from third stimulus, which was $45,000, is repeated in fourth stimulus. And that's on top of the 15,000. So 45 plus 15, plus we got the car, plus we have those add-ons from like Maxine Waters. And that's before those Senate changes come. And what are those Senate changes? Well, there are a lot of them. Bernie represents, in addition to an MSC, that he wants to drop the eligibility age of Medicare, dental, and vision. He wants to drop the eligibility of Medicare from 65 to 55. Bob Casey wants to do 60. Then he wants to put in there the dental, 10 years of full benefits. I think it's too expensive. He offered 3 years of full benefits. I think that works. And the last offer in there for dental was an $850 check. I don't think that works. I don't think that's enough money. They want to do vision, Bernie does, an eye exam and a pair frame per year, pretty simple for Medicare. I think they can get that done. More about this in a second. Student loan debt forgiveness, this will go by executive order. There's a $10,000 offer on the table from the president. The Democrats should take it. It would supplement the prior executive orders done on student loan debt forgiveness, which were for people who became disabled, people who went to work in the nonprofit sector, and people who went to work in the public sector 10 years after graduation. Democrats should take it. Fifth stimulus, very important. And that COLA raise, a lot of questions about this. So your COLA raise is going up January 1st, 5.9%. This is huge, but they want to do fifth stimulus right behind that. Now, let me talk about the COLA raise first off the bat. There's an IRS letter that went out that says you're getting a raise. If you didn't get the letter, it doesn't matter. It's just a by the way letter. So if you don't get the letter, your benefit's still going up. Number two, if you're a veteran, some veterans are reporting seeing the COLA raise already in the month of December. So some people may see the raise starting the month of December. Number three, there's nothing you have to do to get the raise. It's automatic, which brings us then to Medicare. Your Medicare is not going to be impacted by the COLA raise. And finally, this stimulus. This stimulus would replace COLA next December 2022 because COLA doesn't work. It is a benchmark that doesn't work. And that's why your benefits are undervalued. So they're first going to raise your benefits up one time to get you caught up, apply a new benchmark, which would be inflation, 2 to 3% next year, and every year thereafter approximately, which would mean you get 3 raise ups in 1 year. Remove the asset cap, remove the income cap, and remove the marriage penalty, and love is going to win, and you'll be able to marry your longtime love interest. And there you go. Meantime, what happened on Friday and what caused the turmoil even today? Well, let me explain a very, very elaborate set of dominoes that kicked in on Friday. On Friday, the labor number was released, and it's a monthly labor number. Now, it's known as one number, but in this case, there's other numbers in the report. And the top line number, which talks about how many jobs are created in the private sector, was a bad number. They missed. It was a low number. It should have been higher. That's not the issue. The issue is the secondary numbers, and there's a lot of them. They were astronomically great numbers. They were so good that everyone was dumbfounded and shocked they were that good, meaning this economy is much stronger than anyone knew. Number one, it showed that the unemployment number dropped to its best rate since about 2019. So this is huge. This is way before the pandemic. Number two, it showed that the unemployment rate is now almost at where the Federal Reserve wants it for next year. Federal Reserve wants about 2.8%. It's about 3 point some plus right now. Next, it showed that unemployment dropped dramatically among minorities, which is a big priority by the Federal Reserve. African Americans and Latinos showed the best unemployment rate, meaning the lowest number of people unemployed in 3 years. It's huge. Then the big issues about supply chain were absolutely wonderful. It showed that people who are sitting on the sideline, not participating in the labor workforce, which is called labor shortage and things like that, they came back into the workforce in massive numbers in the last 30 days. So for whatever reason, the labor shortage, or the labor supplies is also called, went down dramatically. There's less shortage of workers, which is big for inflation, bringing it down, big for employers as well. Finally, the cost of labor went down dramatically. So what does this mean? The best impact for you is that this signals that inflation is going to come down quickly. And it also signals the Federal Reserve needs to do something faster. What's at issue? It means that there is less disruption of getting goods to the consumer. For example, we didn't have truck drivers because there was a labor shortage and they wanted more salary. Now we have enough truck drivers. Now they're not demanding more salary. Now you're going to get the goods. Now the good is not overpriced like it would have been before. It's going to bring that inflation down. But most analysts and myself believe, and that's what caused the NASDAQ to crash on Friday, is that unless Omicron becomes far worse than what we think it is right now, we believe that on December 15th, the Federal Reserve at its next meetings will announce a faster restoration of the economy back to normal than initially thought. Tapering, which is removing their stimulus, and raising interest rates, not at the end of next year, potentially 2 or 3 raises next year right off the bat, because they think this economy is too strong. What's going on then with crypto? I told you, because when stocks crash, crypto crashes, because people do not want extra risks. Crypto is crashing like we have never seen in the history of this channel. It is down 20% today. Some coins are down 30% in the last 24 hours. I have been predicting this for days, many, many days. I've been teaching this on this channel since the month of May, that when the stock market crashes and stocks and things go down because they think that the economy is running too hot and that the Federal Reserve is going to come in and start raising your interest rates, then people are going to get out of stocks, and stocks crash and crypto crash. So that's the situation right now. Meantime, really excited about a new show coming to this channel. And a lot of people have been talking about it. You've been talking about it. I'm very excited about it. What is the show about? The working title is the metaverse. The show will be about the metaverse. This is my metaverse reincarnation of myself. It is a cartoon landscape in which you interact with other people. In the new series, you're going to see me go into the metaverse and interacting with other people, including you, and showing you how to make money. We're going to go over everything from merchandising to selling. Here I am in a particular store, a boutique, and I'm looking at an ensemble. It's a tracksuit with a shirt and a chain. It's for sale, and the transaction is done in crypto, and the item is not cheap. And if you want to make money in the digital environment, you can. And I'm going to show you in this recording how you make that money. Here we are at a nightclub, and I'm looking at a big projection of a video, which was actually live at the time, of a DJ performing. Here you see me in a broader shot of that same location. Here you see me in a casino where people are interacting and receiving money. And here you see me at another establishment. This was a Japanese-inspired casino outside. It's a great environment for you to make money. And if you want to make money, it's going to be a show that's going to be landmark and groundbreaking. So that's coming to this channel shortly. Meantime, every day on this channel is the excitement of Holidays LALATE, and also the excitement of coming to this channel shortly is the comedy-only show featuring Javita Late, Sirloin, and also Blaine 66. It's the new Sirloin show called Calcino. I'm excited for you to join me as that show joins us on this channel shortly. But coming up daily on this channel is Holidays LALATE. Let's take a look again at that incredible show daily on this channel at 11 a.m. And coming to this channel soon is Calcina. Meantime, if you've not subscribed, make sure you go down to this button underneath the video and hit that subscribe button right now. Like the video, 3,000 likes, and consider becoming a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, Calcino VIP. Coming up next is Evenings LALATE, and I'm excited for you to join me. It's going to be a big show tonight, so join me at 5 o'clock. Then we got shows at 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, all the way to the next day, a show on the hour, by the hour. Join me next as a full slate of programming continues on this channel. We got a lot coming up later today. It's a big day. I'm excited for you to join me. And boy, what a day it's going to be, whether I'm in the digital verse or in the LALATE verse. Stay informed, stay focused. Have a beautiful day. Have a beautiful evening. I'll see you next on Evenings LALATE, coming up in just a few minutes. Direct and from Santa Monica.